back again.
Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. A lot to talk about today. Dubois, Joyce, Mike Tyson, JONES Jr. What crazy events?
Before we start on Dubois and Joyce and actually what happened on the night, I just want to say, I feel the boxing world are unfairly ripping him at the moment, personally.
Yeah.
A lot of boxers, a lot of ex-boxers, just general, boxing world people, they're saying he quit, they're saying, he hasn't got heart. And whilst I understand where they're coming from, in the sense of it didn't look great the way that he went out in the fight, I think it's unfair because, well, various things. He's still very young.
23.
Exactly, in comparison to Joyce. So he's gonna make some, possibly mistakes. We do know now that he has a fracture in a certain part of his eye as well. And, the possibility could have been that he continued and he could have had no eyesight. Do you know what I mean? So
He's got nerve damage too.
Exactly. Exactly. So
it's a very dangerous game, isn't it?
Talk to me about
dangerous. So I think I agree with what you said. He faced huge criticism after quitting, they called it, from the boxing blogs, from fans, even from a charity that was published, I saw in The Guardian, in the newspaper. And I think he done his best. He definitely done his best. I think he boxed pretty decent up until the stoppage, I would say. Joyce obviously boxed clever. He kept his range, he jabbed him out. And I noticed that Joyce's tactics started to work after a while. And it's funny because I didn't see much signs of, stress from his eye. I saw him blink a few times, but I didn't think that it was gonna end up the way it did, I think if Daniel was able to push a bit more through the pain, he would have taken it. However, getting punched in your eye, your left eye, over and over and over again, how much can you take? Until you stop. Every punch to his eye was like physical and mental torture. And maybe if he went through the pain barrier, there could have been a different result, but he took the knee on the 10th round and, I felt sorry for him, but then I thought, this is boxing, one punch can change the whole game. So I don't know. I
tell you what I thought there were several things that went wrong from the beginning. I think, number one, to get an eye injury of that magnitude from, say, it happened from round one, because I started to notice the swelling straight after that. So your chances of pushing through that injury are going to be a lot less than if you get that in 8, 9, 10. Because the swelling has reached such a point where, do you know what I mean? Like the ref might have stopped it anyway because his eye was near enough close. So that's the number one thing, that he almost didn't stand a chance getting an injury so early on. Number two, his corner was a bit disappointing, actually, from some of the things I was hearing them say to him. And I think, I saw an Eddie Hearn interview, made a good point about the fact that the same person that was kind of coaching him and mentoring him in the corner is the same person that was working on his eye. And so you can't give 100% to either one of those things if you're trying to do both. So if you had your own, I think they call it a cut man, like where they deal with the cuts, bruises, swelling, all that kind of stuff. Someone to really focus on that, and then another person kind of pushing him on, So again, I think that was a failure on the part of his corner. I think he fought well, he's a hard puncher, and he still showed that to me. And I think he was up on points, but with most of the judges prior to him sort of kneeling down. So, you know, I wasn't completely disappointed with him. The only thing I would say is what Joe did wasn't anything major. It was basic.
I said this. I think with both of them, I would say there wasn't anything amazing. I wasn't like, oh, wow, this is a great fight. It was very slow motion to me. I think it was very slow.
But it's just a basic way. You know, if you can see someone, that's their main thing they keep doing is jabbing, jabbing, jabbing. Somehow you have to move, or you need to change it up so that you don't keep getting, you know, hit with that jab. It would be different if Joe was doing a range of different types of punches where you're not sure what's coming.
Yeah, left, right.
The same thing. So I feel as though, you know, and it will come with time with Daniel, because I still believe he's got a lot of talent, but he needs to learn how to change it up, you know, right? This is what Joe's doing. This is what I'm now going to do to make sure I don't keep getting caught with that jab, particularly when his eye was like that.
And like what you said, that it wasn't anything spectacular that Joyce was doing. It was very basic. You could see it coming before it even landed. So I was shocked that he did he even train to change the game? He didn't. Do you think he quit?
This is such a difficult one for me, Katie. I think on the night it looked like he quit because of the way in which he did it, the manner. Yeah. So in the sense of, if he had knelt down and been clutching his eye and appeared to be in a lot of pain, people might have been like, you know, boy, he has to stop. He can't continue. And there's even a question as to whether his corner should have pulled him out at a certain point anyway, with his eye like that. But you know, for me, he's got a bad injury, you know, so I can imagine he was in a lot of pain. Maybe he just thought, I can't take anymore.
That's what it looked like to me. And I would say, I think it looked like he did quit. I think it looked like he quit. And like I said before, it didn't seem as though it stressed him that bad, the eye. So, like, you know, obviously he wasn't touching his eye, wasn't dabbing at his eye. It was just like, not random, but I get it that he was in pain, but there was no signs that my eye is badly killing me. Do you get what I mean? So when he went down on his knee, I was like, okay, I know you're gonna get up, like get up. And he didn't. And I was like, and it was just the way in which he did it. It was almost like, but then in saying that, who are we to judge? We didn't sustain that injury.
That's it.
I can only imagine how much it was painful.
A lot of the boxers are saying he quit, but they are seeing from a boxer's perspective, right? So they've probably, you know, they've been in the ring, had an injury, and they know what it feels like to have to push through that injury. You know, we spoke about the Boazzi and Kalic fight, do you remember? And same sort of thing happened with Joshua Boazzi. His eye was maybe not quite as bad as Daniel's, but it was bad, you know, in terms of the way it looked. And he pushed through. He pushed through it. So there's an argument to say, well, maybe you needed to do that. But I can't say how badly his eye felt at the time. And I think the thing that threw me again is that after the fight, he was still walking around and, you know, talking as normal, and, you know, so again, people are probably questioning how bad was it?
Yeah, that's it. That's why they're using this word, he quit. And how bad was it? I mean, we know it was significantly bad, but how bad was it at that point?
That's a question for him and him only.
Yeah.
You know? I still believe he showed some level of skill in that fight. But credit to Joyce, you know, as I said, I do feel what he did was basic, but it works, you know, and he goes on to the next level. I hope Daniel's okay. And we'll see what's next for him.
Exactly, and just a big well done to Joyce. Like, I said as well, I didn't see anything amazing that he'd done, but he done what he had to do, and it got him the win. So, and I saw he was calling out Usyk.
Yeah, straight away.
Did you
Yeah.
see how funny he was saying Usyk?
Yeah. But because he's fought him before, so he, you know,
yeah.
he obviously wants that. He wants that rematch, and Usyk. That will be interesting because Usyk is now. He's now stepped up to his weight. Do you know? So this is more Joe's field, the heavyweight division. So, you know, he maybe feels more comfortable fighting him this time around.
Sham, wasn't there a time where you met Joyce, isn't it?
Yes, this year actually. I saw Joyce at Thorpe Park, and you know me as the big boxing fan I am, I saw him. He was
like,
massive.
Joyce!
And I was like, oh my God. I was with my son, and my son was like, go on, Mom, I know you want to go over there. So I was like, all right, let me go over. And you know what, to my surprise, he was really humble. He was really, really nice. And he took a picture with me, which I think is up on the screen for you now. But yeah, he was absolutely cool. But this was prior to boxing and Bantz beginning, so I couldn't give him the lowdown of what we were about to do. But he was really nice. I'll give him that. He was very nice, very courteous. I took a nice little picture with me.
Nice. Lucky you. But
quick question.
yeah.
What do you think of the venue that they did the fight?
I thought it was quite nice.
See, I wasn't keen on it actually.
I thought it was quite nice.
I think it's a nice venue. It's quite a historic venue from what I know, but I wasn't sure it was right for
that vibe.
That for a boxing.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Looks wise, it was nice, but for that particular fight, I get what you mean.
It didn't have like a studio vibe, if that makes sense. Maybe that's what I'm used to seeing. Maybe more in Matchroom and stuff. They have theirs in like studios and arenas and stuff like that. So it was quite strange to see it in it was almost like a hall.
Yeah, maybe that's something they need to work on. Because it didn't look, I think maybe it didn't look the part. It didn't mesh well with the boxes in the ring and then yeah. But
yeah. We'll see. But I suppose they have to use what they can get at the moment anyway. So, and
that's just it. And you know, like let's say Eddie Hearn and you know, obviously Matchroom Design, they always show out. So
yeah,
they're gonna get big venues.
Yeah. So before we move on as well, how good was David Adelaide? He looked really, really promising to me. Didn't know much about him before. Did a little bit of research into him after that because I was just like, who's this guy? He looks, you know, he looks like the next up and coming. Yeah.
Wonder if we can try and get an interview with him.
I hope so.
But no, he looked the part. It looked great. Well boxed, amazing, proper good. I was impressed, and I didn't know anything about him before. Nothing.
That's why these kind of shows are good actually, because it gives a spotlight to some of the lesser known boxers.
And this is why we always continue to watch, especially undercards. We always watch undercards. It's imperative. It's a must.
Next fight of the night, Mike Tyson and Roy Jones Jr. As you know, Mike Tyson is one of my favorite boxers of all time. But I haven't got a lot to say about this fight, if I'm perfectly honest with you. From the beginning, before the fight even happened, we had all these rules, which at first I really believed was a joke. I thought it was a joke until I started seeing it on all the boxing networks and channels, and I thought, like, you've kind of made the fight seem non-serious before it's even started for me. In terms of the fight itself, you know, I'm going to keep it brief. I saw that Tyson still got some level of skill and speed, which was nice to see. A lot of it, though, they both, particularly Roy, seemed quite tired, so there was a lot of leaning. and and it just, for me, it started to get a bit bored. I actually lost interest in the fight, which is
It got quite
amazing to say.
sluggish.
I like Snoop Dogg commentating though. That was hilarious.
It was amazing. Hilarious.
Yeah, I like that. But yeah, that's really all I've got to say. I would say that Tyson won it, even though there wasn't allowed to be a winner.
Ridiculous. I as well will keep it very brief. Tyson's a beast. He's a mother beast. He is still an animal. You can see it in him. I feel like if there was no rules in place, and I'm actually surprised that he sort of somewhat stuck to the rules, because he looked like he could go on and on and on. And a lot of people were saying that Roy looked more prepared, meaning his posts that he's training, he's doing this, he looks really fit and so on and so forth. And I hadn't seen much from Tyson in terms of his training. And literally, he seemed more fit than Roy to me.
Yeah.
Roy Jones just seemed so tired after a while. And I could see that some of Tyson's body shots were getting to him. It was almost like, oh, and even after when he was speaking, he said that he can pack a punch and it's still there. The power's still there. And I think you can see it. And Tyson's one of my all-time greats, favorites as well. So I'm always rooting for him, as well as Roy as well. But Tyson, he done well. Like literally, he done well. And if we had to say who won, would have been Tyson for me.
Yeah.
Would you want to see them go again?
No.
It was somewhat boring, isn't it? Because of the rules.
Thing is, I just can't understand how you can make a rule such as no knockout. How can you determine how hard someone's going to hit someone and so whether they're going to fall over and hit the canvas? Like, that in itself is stupid. If one of them got a cut, the fight is over. So people could have paid £25 to watch that on BT Sport box office for it to be over in round one because one of them got a cut. It makes no sense to me.
What was the point of PPV, pay-per-view? What was the point? Because people are looking for maybe a knockout, for them to get chased down in the ring, for a bit of blood, you know, and all these rules. I mean, when we posted on our Instagram that the rules, I was like, huh? I realized what I had posted and read all these rules that they put down, and I was thinking, what is the actual point? I would love to see the number of how many people did actually pay. I know people would anyway because it's legendary, but I would love to see how many people paid PPV. I would love to see.
You know,
because I woke up the next morning and watched it.
Yeah, no, I'll be honest, I did the same. I think it's very cheeky to ask for, and it's more than the normal amount. You know, normally pay-per-views, what, 20 quid on Sky, BT Sport, £25. So I can only think the whole thing was just money motivated. I'm not sure the reason for the rules. I'm not sure if it's because of their age. I'm not sure if it's because, you know, certain licenses that maybe they needed to have and didn't have. I don't know. But, you know, from my perspective, I lost all level of seriousness in that fight from when I saw those rules. I was excited to watch it. I was slightly disappointed, which is a shame.
And, you know, they started calling it an exhibition.
Yeah. Exactly.
Because you took away the whole boxing aspect from it.
Yeah.
And you called it an exhibition. Like, you got two greats in the ring just playing. And
but what else could they call it if there's no winner? You can't call it a fight.
And I get that. But it, like you said, it takes away all seriousness. It just, I mean, I don't even know what I was watching, but Tyson won, did it? I think we can all agree on that one. Yeah, Tyson won. So, and then I saw Lennox. Where did I see this actually? I saw it somewhere that he was calling out someone, said he would love to have a rematch or something along the lines. Lennox Lewis. Yeah. You know what? He still looks like he's in good shape. You know, I can imagine that. I think he does. Yeah, he looks but it needs to be a proper fight. None of the stupid rules, and they need to go away. If he's gonna do that, go away, get whatever licenses you need to make sure it's a proper fight. None of this no knockouts and all of that. I won't even bother watching it next time, I don't think. And the thing is as well, they were acting like they were 85 years old. I don't get it.
Yeah, they're still fit, you know. They're fitter than, you know, a lot of other guys younger
Exactly.
than them, you know. So,
But yeah, we move. So
more fights coming up this weekend.
yay, Anthony Yard. Hey, what's his name?
Lyndon Arthur.
Yeah.
I'm excited about this fight.
Yeah.
I was having a quick look back at their last fight, both of them, and their last fight, interestingly, was both the same guy, Dex Spellman. Yard won it on knockout round 6, and Arthur won his by decision points. They're quite different. It's like Anthony Yard is like he's more of a knockout puncher to me. You know, out of his 20 wins, 19 of those are by knockout. So, you know, his knockout ratio is high, and that's, you know, he's more of a front foot, you know, attack type boxer. And then Lyndon Arthur is more, he'll more stay on the ropes and on the back foot, but he's still throwing, you know, he's still throwing. He's very quick, doesn't seem to get tired. So they're quite different, and I wonder how Anthony's going to how he's going to deal with that style. You know,
before I looked at Arthur, I said, before I looked into him, I said Yard to win 8th round. When I looked at Arthur, I said, interesting. I retract my statement. I don't know.
I never give specific rounds, actually, with my prediction. I think it's too...
I'm done with that.
It's too... you just never know what's going to happen. But my prediction for that fight is... I know I said this with the Dubois fight, so I'm kind of hesitating. But I'm going to say that Yard takes it by knockout, but I think it will be again in the later rounds. I don't think he can come in and steamroll Arthur in that way, and I think it's going to be a difficult one for Yard. He's a slow starter anyway, so I don't see him knocking him out in the first 4 or 5. To be honest, sometimes he starts quite slow and then he picks up mid-fight. So
he feels that his opponent. Mm-hmm. I definitely will still stick with Yard. I say 8th round onwards, he's going to get the knockout. Okay. Do me proud, man. Let me get this right, man.
My predictions.
My judgment has been so off.
Gosh. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that one. And Errol Spence,
Danny. Yeah.
Another good one, which I will be watching in the morning and not staying up for, unfortunately, because I'm old and I can't stay awake.
Can't do it.
What are your thoughts on that?
2 explosive fighters. That one, I have no prediction at all. I don't know what will happen. And that's me being very honest, because I do like both of them. And their fighting styles are so unique. And I don't think there's going to be a knockout. No.
You think we'll go all the way to points?
I reckon it will go all the way.
That's a good shout.
Yeah, that's it.
That's a good shout. Yeah, no, that's a good shout, actually. I feel like I want, this is not my prediction, by the way, I feel like I want Spence to win.
Yeah.
But I can't say 100% that I feel.
Just don't say anything. I'm a huge Errol Spence fan.
Yeah, same.
I'm a huge fan. And I am also a fan of Danny Garcia, but I'm a huge fan of Spence. So I'm all in for him, but I don't know how it's going to go. And the only thing I reckon is it will go all the way to the end. Mm-hmm. It's just who's going to outbox who. So we'll see.
Okay, I think we're at the end of our episode today.
It's been a pleasure.
Yeah. So we'll be back next week to talk about these same fights and see whether our Anthony Yarde predictions were correct. Hopefully does us proud.
Hopefully, fingers crossed.
So guys, don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe.
And also follow us on Instagram at Boxing and Bantz. Follow us on Twitter at Boxing and Bantz. And like Sham said, like, comment, share and subscribe. Bye.
Bye.